This is Melissa with the Stock Swoosh, LLC, period. I am here tonight. My name is Melissa Armo, and I would like to discuss with you a bearish gap that happened today. This was Yum. This was on earnings. This had a huge gap down. The interesting thing was I saw this happening live this morning, and I did all my numbers and all my ratings, and I was figuring it out what it was like around in here, okay? It was like around this area here, and this thing moves a lot, and I thought it could maybe, worst case, go up here and do a topping tail now, come all the way in on the 200. Or I would have preferred it to go on the 200 and just drop, or I said it could have even gone up into this area here. Oh, where is it? Here, 69.15, I had the numbers written down, 69, 69.21. By the time it was ready to open, it had fallen past the 200 and all the way down here. And I'll show you how it played out. But it when after it did that, I said, and I ended up deciding to watch something else right off the open, so I didn't get the first move in this. But then I did get another move in this later, which I'll show you. And it reset up in the afternoon, which I did call in the room. I said, this is going to go farther down in the afternoon. And this is another one that's a continuation play, actually. This will follow through on Monday, guarantee it. So we're going to keep it on the list because the target really for sure is down here, 66. And then in here, and then in here. I mean, this really hurt the stock today, what this did. This stock, in fact, let's just look here. This is an entry for a swing position in the stock today. Look at that. Look at this thing. This is lower on Monday. It's a nice gap. So this is a 15-minute chart. This is the first bar of the day. We'll go back and look at that. Then it rallied up. Didn't go over the high of the day. Stayed under the high of the day, so I was fine with it. In real time, I was watching this for an entry after I didn't get the first move. It came down, triggered in the 15-minute, went under 44, came back up in real time, all of a sudden had a tail, was not red anymore, but it wasn't green, and then it came back in and re-triggered itself again. I said, okay, it's good now, and I got in it. I got in it actually before it did that. But the point was that it shouldn't have gone back over that after it. So it triggered once, came up, retested, came back in again. It should absolutely work, and then it did, and it continued down. Touched right on 67, didn't go under the low of the day. And then it rallied back up. I thought it would follow through here, and it didn't. If you took this and had your stop over 62, you got stopped out in this 15-minute sell. It didn't hold, but then it did do a 15-minute sell later in the day. You would have had to watch this and take it at 115 to get a drop, which was into 66.73. I actually had 66.70. I'd written down as the next target, and then I think 66.43. So it did get then to the second target. This was a really nice move down here in the 15. This one didn't follow through. I guess it needed more time to rally up and wiggle and jiggle. And if you got stopped out here, I hope you retook it in here because it was a nice stop in here, 10 cents, 11 cents, and then had a drop of $1. Okay? 67.73, 66.73. 11 cent stop with $1 drop in here. So I hope if anyone took this, they didn't give up on it and retook it in here. Okay, let's look at the 5-minute. Here's what happened this morning on this. It had the drop, rallied up, did a 5-minute sell setup. I did not take this. I was looking at something else, playing something else. I missed this. I'm so glad I didn't take this because it booped up then, went up here, and then set itself up. And then this is where I was watching to take it on the failed 5-minute buy setup here. When it retouched up here and didn't go up higher, which I'm glad that it didn't, you didn't have any certainty of that unless you're watching it real time. The stop has to be tight here. The stop has to be tight. It can't fail here. That's why. Because after it failed here, it can't fail again, or then it's in an uptrend. Okay? The only reason it did this is because the gap was so hard. The gap down was so hard. It had a big gap down, fell right away. It needed to do this. That's why this 5-minute here failed. And also was bad timing, I guess, with whatever the market was doing. Let's just go look at quick. 10 o'clock in the market. Let's look at the SPY. What was the market doing at 10 o'clock? This market today was just nowhere as available, but let's just look. Let's just see here. Weekend to the end of the month, I'll tell you that though, here on the 30th. Let's see where the market is. Here's 10 o'clock. Here's what the market was doing, okay? So the market was doing a buy setup here at 10 o'clock. I know the market didn't really go anywhere today, but this probably didn't help Yum then continue through. This was part of the failure there in that 5 minute with Yum. See that? Okay. See what the market was doing at the time that Yum was trying to set up? So I took this into this drop here. I got the second move. I wasn't even watching this one that happened, luckily, because it didn't work. I did have conviction this second one then with the way that this failed here to go up, follow through higher. And again, I'm okay with it just because of the fact that it had gapped down so big and had to get some people out of here. Also, I'd watch that 15-minute trigger, rally up, not go green, and come back in again, which it did in these two bars. That's what it was doing there, okay? If you wanted to take that in the afternoon, you would have had to be really patient. And again, you know, I think that the entry was here, and it had a chance to go down lower. But if you had your stop over 62, which is where it had to be, you would have gotten stopped out. Would anyone have replayed this in here? If you'd gotten stopped out here, I hope that you would have stayed with it. There was a nice entry in here. Or if you didn't get this, you could have taken it in here into reversal time at 2:30. I was done for the day after all this, but this was a nice play then in the afternoon. Nice play in the afternoon, and you could have lowered your stop here. This was the best entry here, though. Looking on the 5, this was really, really good. Takes conviction to do this stuff, though. After this pops up here and fails like this, it takes real conviction to do this. Just look at this. Yeah, you really would have had to stuck with this thing to get it. But I felt that it would go lower. I really felt that it'd go lower. It touched down 67, it touched down 67, it touched down 67. I like to see that for a break of it. I wanted it to do it right away later here in the morning, but it didn't. But then it did do it eventually anyways. And remember, this chart is lower, 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 lower after today. So this is one to watch and snag it. I'm definitely going to study this one and how this thing's set up, because this was a great move, even right away, even in the morning. You know, despite the size of the gap, was a really, really nice play. This is Melissa with thestockswoosh.com. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at melissa@thestockswoosh.com. If you'd like more information about the Stock Swoosh Trading Room, please email me at melissa@thestockswoosh.com. Or if you're interested in any Golden Gap classes, I teach a gap class. I'm doing one next weekend, December 8th and 9th, and another one this month. If you're interested, please feel free to email me for more information. Thanks, and have a great night.